Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Jackboot333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, Kaiserreich as the Socialist Republic of Italia. Now, last time we were together, we had our elections, and it turns out, well, no one really won, it would seem. So we're going to try to build a new government out of the ashes of everything. It's been quite a while since I recorded the first part versus this one. I tried recording again, but I had some work stuff pop up, some new housing stuff as well, trying to get that sorted. So I had that, and then I realized I didn't save my original spot, so I've had to restart things. It's more or less where it was. I didn't take much notes of what changed overall. I'm working more thoroughly on army exercising currently, making sure we get some XP. I think our templates starting off are decent. I only have 18 wits. We can add on some artillery, get those to 20 wits. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and get things going from there. Or from here, rather. So, I hope you all enjoy. After months of feverish preparation, the Ninth Congress of the Third Internationals opened in Versailles. People from all over the world convened to help coordinate the efforts of socialist movements. Parties affiliated with the Internationals, as well as some sympathizers and observers, were invited to send representatives, and hundreds made the sometimes arduous journey to be the closest to the beating heart of the proletarian revolution. Though the International has, in theory, no relation to the French and British governments, representatives from these foremost socialist nations will certainly enjoy a position of informal seniority among their peers, elders in the global relation of the laboring classes. A warm welcome to our comrades. Beautiful indeed. What do we got here? The inaugural session of the Ninth Congress with the International took place in the Versailles Palace, clad for the occasion in crimson banners adorned with socialist symbols and slogans. Given the honor announcing the introductory speech, the father of the British Revolution, George Lansbury, pointed out the irony of convening proletarian forces in what was once the center of the Attic monarchy. Proof, if any, was needed of the unstoppable march of the revolution. Rand's speech followed, thanking the delegates, evoking the revolutionary successes of recent years, and rousing spirits for the coming struggle. In his closing remarks, Lansbury invited delegates to join him in a minute of prayer, to which a French voice promptly responded, "Lequel vivel," leading to a few moments of agitation in the audience. The old man was nevertheless abundantly applauded, and the representatives separated into various discussion groups and committees. The Ninth Congress with their nationals hereby open. Well, there we go. Joaquin Oscaro Budria has taken to the stage and elaborated the position of the CONFI in Spain for the Congress. The CONFI is the largest syndicalist party in Spain, made up of narco-syndicalists, moderate syndicalists, and trade unionists. Spanish revolutionaries have seen a white terror, violent counter-revolutionary actions taken against the workers firsthand. They have come asking for support for their cause when that moment comes. A resolution to support the efforts of Spanish proletariat forces was unanimously voted, with cries of "Viva la Revolution" echoing the halls of Versailles. Our Iberian comrades can count on us. In the heart of the capital, too, American delegate John Reed gave a passionate speech. A journalist by trade, one of the first Americans to report on the Russian and French revolutions. He later entered the political fray himself, now a respected voice in the movement. Reed is the current chairman of the Socialist Party of America. Despite criticism at home and abroad regarding his party's coalition with the reformist Farmer Labor Party, it's hard to argue against the SPA's growing popularity over the past decade and its ability to mobilize American workers. Fellow delegates refrained from voicing their concerns if they had any, and Reed was given a warm welcome by the Congress. In his speech, he detailed the current situation in the U.S. The Great Depression, now dragging on for years, has thrown American workers and farmers into atrocious conditions, leading to a rapid rise in radical politics made worse by the German crash. The labor movement grows even more powerful. The SBA is rapidly gaining ground in the political institutions, and proletarian forces are holding up strong against police repression and longest reactionaries. An opportunity seems bound to reveal itself. The red flag will fly on Wall Street. Beautiful. Much like you're interested. How's the NRA doing? It seems like they're doing quite well, actually. We can send some volunteers right now. Only one. But we might as well do that. I'll send you over to here. And we'll send Giovanni, excuse me. There we go. A joint event by Latin American comrades was held next. South and Central America have in recent years been at the forefront of social struggle, primary victims of American interests, exploited ceaselessly by international capital, held down by petty dictator puppets of this or that Yankee lobby. The masses of the Americas have had enough. Every day more workers join the struggle of this front line of imperialism, and if we are to believe our comrades, the entire continent is one push away from liberation. A packed audience listened eagerly to heroic tales of Patagonian revolutionaries. The latest updates from the still fresh Nicaraguan Revolution, or stories from veterans of the Mexican Revolution, which inspired the whole of Latin America. Delegates from other nations like Brazil or Cuba gave detailed presentations on the state of the proletarian struggle in their own countries, with many feeling very much optimistic for their prospects in the coming years. Begin to search your syndicalism in Latin America. And there we go. The left KMT is allowing volunteer forces. Women's role in the worldwide revolution. So we have a choice between stability or political power. Probably take political power. Today, the British feminist Helen Crawford took to the stage with a flaming speech about the women's role in the world revolution. According to her argument, without women's participation in the industry and armed forces, it may be impossible to defeat the many enemies of the proletariat. While our delegation agrees wholeheartedly for message, some feel that it's yet too early to really push the issue of women's liberation, and that formally affirming the speech is but a needless domestic disturbance. While participation of the working woman is necessary to achieve the world revolution. Socialist revolution in Iran. Oh, look at that. Today is an opportunity for representatives at the Congress of the Third International to put forward their cases to request international support for our reunification efforts. The foreign minister believes French support for the Ressurgimiento could be vital for its success due to the potential for Austrian involvement. We'll ask them to ask for support to achieve the Ressurgimiento. Comrade Saïl Mohammed wants to speak. A prominent Algerian socialist was allowed to speak before the assembled Congress. He's given a rousing speech on the situation in Morocco and French Africa, where Arab labor is abused and exploited for the benefit of the wealthy and colonial establishments. Saïl urged Congress to put an immediate stop to the situation, proposed the creation of a Socialist Anti-Colonial Committee that will work to supply local socialist anti-colonial conspirators in North Africa. We'll gladly support the creation of the committee. Well, here we go. In the end, in spite of his mandate lasting to 38, Giolitti resigned from the presidency. That did much to restart negotiations. Mussolini put himself forward as a man who was simply fulfilling his patriotic duty by leading the president's cabinet in 1934. While it built no sympathy from the parliamentarist actionists, it did enough to make the Union support his bid for the presidency, especially when he promised to appoint the Union aligned Angelo Tosca as prime minister if elected. And elected he was, with his first act as president being, of course, the appointment of new Tosca government. This doesn't mean stability's returned. Far from it. The Union's infatuation with Mussolini as a man of honor rapidly vanished when it became clear Mussolini was being even more aggressive in his reinforcement of the presidency. There now appears to be something of a tug-of-war between Mussolini and Union leadership, seeking to break each other's hold of power. In the middle are the actionists, now hoping to slide between the two sides and restore parliamentary powers, while the two giants of Italian politics mutilate each other. A facade of unity will be maintained while the revolution is yet to be fulfilled, but once the peninsula has been brought its revolution, the smoke will clear and someone will emerge from the ashes to build a new Italy. Well, the future of Italy is built from here. As the political equilibrium changes, it appears that the unions emerge as the only force capable of forming a government, in spite of constant fascist interference. While other forces were failing to deliver, Mussolini was forced to appoint Tosca as prime minister, much to his chagrin. For now, a strong Union government is in power. The fascists will undoubtedly fight tooth and nail to gain control of government, so the fight isn't over yet. Good luck, Tosca. So we got a nice reduction to political advisors, which I know there's a guy over here who I'm going to want to appoint. I don't remember where he is now, but get it. In the meanwhile, we have the man, the myth, the thumb himself, Benito Mussolini. Mussolini was born in Emilia-Romagna to a socialist blacksmith father and a devoutly Catholic schoolteacher. Despite being baptized at an early age, he became a militant atheist like his father, comparing his religious boarding school to hell. He nevertheless later graduated in a non-religious school and qualified as an elemental schoolmaster. He emigrated to Switzerland for a brief period of time to avoid the compulsory military service and became acquainted with the ideas of Nietzsche and Sorel, among others, which deeply influenced him. Returning to Italy in 1904, he spent 2 years in the military and then became a teacher. In 1909, he left to become the secretary of the Labour Party in Trentino. He was later arrested in 1911 for his militant opposition to the Libyan War. In 1912, he became part of the National Directorate of the PSI, though his support of Italian intervention in the Weltkrieg got him ousted. He soon formed the Fascio Rivoluzionario di Azione Internazionalista and joined the war as a soldier, being gravely wounded in 1917. The ICW saw him join Di Annunzio, Di Ambris, and others in forming the Black Shirts, a radical paramilitary that sought to establish socialism and was militantly anti-Austrian. He quickly rose through the ranks in the new Socialist Republic, advocating for a militant approach to the reunification of Italy. His rapport with Guglietti saw him become part of government. His fascist growth in subsequent elections has confirmed that Italians want militant reunification. Now, as president, he will take the fight to the reactionaries surrounding the SRI. None shall prevent Italy's rise this time. Well, there we go. We also have Angelo Tosca. Doesn't really give us much in the way of options. Well, we're going to deal with the FMC quickly. And then we're going to get working on some army stuff. Methinks. Yeah, I think so. I want to get rid of this so we stop losing any political power, or the political power from our daily party popularity going down. The clandestine military front has been a thorn in our side for too long. With stable government finally in place, we now see it to at least contain and reduce their operations. There we go. In the meanwhile, we have a research slot. We'll get mechanical computing going. We heard Joaquin Oscado Budria speak of the White Terror. Horror stories have been coming out of Madrid and Barcelona. And Kurt Eisner, Bavarian socialist, wanted to delve deeper into the topic of the White Terror, who was given the floor. After hearing more stories come out of Germany, Austria, Hungary, Russia, and Finland, the Congress members were ready to make their decision. Another reason was to end the capitalist system of murder and robbery. With Berlin's stock market crash, mass unemployment has risen in Europe and South America, and trade unions have begun to grow in both as a result. French and British governments held highly secretive talks, and slowly but surely one resolution came to all. Now might be the hour, now might be the moment. A tremendous effort must be undertaken. However, what exactly this tremendous effort would be proved controversial. And when the Congress was finally reassembled for a voting session, debates lasted well into the night, with positions ranging from issuing a mere condemnation to calls for immediate armed struggle. Ultimately, it was decided that a framework for deeper international collaboration would soon be established under the auspices of the Third International and socialist great powers. Help towards the development of socialist economies, greater economic integration, research and development programs, as well as permanent international cooperation councils would help the world's free nations act as one to prepare for the final struggle. Simultaneously, initiatives to more concretely support socialist forces in capitalist nations would be undertaken both openly and covertly. Naturally, details would still be left for governments to fill in, but the proposal was approved almost unanimously. Only one thing was left to vote on: the name of this initiative. A French delegate proposed the Phalanstère in a homage to the harmonious and self-sustained communities established by utopian socialist Charles Fourier. Proposal which proved instantly popular. By building this international phalanstère, the workers of the world will soon conquer the utopia they have earned. A decisive opportunity. We also have the Cambridge Conference. Along with politicians in London, a separate meeting of scientists from France and Britain took place in the old university in Cambridge. It was decided that these socialist countries should combine their research in order to develop a weapon capable of protecting the revolution from increasingly aggressive imperialist threats. Knowledge is power, after all. We can point a military gun. I'm not too worried about that, though, currently. The 9th Congress of the Third International has finally come to an end, rich in events and emotion, having reinforced once again the cohesion of the international socialist movement and set the course for the immediate future. It could only be called a success. The final vote of the delegates concerned the location of the next Congress. And though many cities were proposed, it was ultimately decided that would take place in London, the other great socialist capital. Many delegates came forward to deliver their final remarks and thank the comrades. When they come home, the delegates will have to grapple with consequences of one of the greatest events since the Revolution, certainly an opportunity for decisive action. But before that, a ceremony was organized to properly send them off. On the Montmartre Hill, birthplace of 1871 Commune of Paris, a great performance open to the public was given, showcasing the best French artists, regional costumes and traditions, as well as athletic feats and technological innovations. It was followed by an immense banquet of dishes from all over the commune for the many delegates, which lasted well into the night. Of course, the guests concluded this experience of joyful socialist unity in the only way they could have, by proudly singing the International. And tomorrow the International will be the human race. Beautiful. Alright, so we got our one soldier. We're just gonna send this guy up here and see what we can't do to help. We have the Germans over there. A failed coup in Beijing. Oh, friend of the channel, Wu Pai Fu. Look at that. Massacre in Harlan County. Oh. Can't keep making martyrs forever now. Well, let's see if we can't help push him out of Jinhua. There we go. Let's see if we can't... Well, we have this tile right here we can move into. Thousands cheers, Mussolini speaks. The reactionary powers of the world are nearing their end as proletarian Italy rises to snatch her freedom from them. This is just the last of a series of massive gatherings in support of the president, which Mussolini stokes by launching bombastic speeches. As time goes on, Mussolini attracts ever larger crowds. And the larger these crowds are, the more Mussolini's words impact the public's consciousness. This was the start of a personality cult. Oh, interesting. Well, that's right. So we have options between parliamentarists. Oh, well, shit. Let me get the advisor real quick before we lose the opportunity. Here we go. Luigi Longo. I want those extra volunteers right now. Those are going to be huge. The conflict between the Union and the presidency taking its heavy toll on both sides. It appears neither of the two is now strong enough to sustain the government. The only option for workable executive ended up being the actionists, and in spite of the heavy mutual distrust between Mussolini and Mussolini, constant fascist attacks and criticism, the president eventually was forced to appoint Rosselli as prime minister. How long such an executive, formed out of the lack of a unified opposition rather than an actual majority, may last remains to be seen. Good luck, Rosselli. Well, it gives us a nice boost, and I wonder... So we want to... Syndicalists are the trade unions. If we just do this, that increases the popularity of syndicalism. Okay. So we have Anglo back. I can see this being potentially exploitative. I don't know if I'm going to do much to exploit it. But my eyes have seen the vision. Alright. And since we can send more volunteers now, I'm going to separate these guys, give them another general. Let's give him to Francesco. Let's train him up before we get our Marines sent. Send volunteers. Send Francisco over to help. And I want to see if we can sneak in and take Hangzhou, which I've actually been to in real life. Holy shit, we can. And we are. Oh, it's beautiful. I don't even know if we need those 3 at this rate. Alright, we're gonna go ahead. Oh. Well, that's interesting. South Rand Revolt. Well, we can send some more volunteers already. Honestly, screw it. South Rand Revolt. Shit's kicking off. It's already more interesting than the last part was going, honestly. Alright, if we take the city here, which they're about to just hand away to us. And they're attacking into us, which is fine. Let them waste their supply. Yeah, that's more what I thought. If we take this victory point, they're going to be completely encircled. Meanwhile, take these units, send them up to here, and we want them to push into there as much as they can. Meanwhile, yeah, let's work on modernizing the Armata Rossa. The Red Army was formed out of mutineering units back in the 1919 Revolution and hasn't changed much since. So backwardness of the armed forces was one of the leading reasons our failure to seize the rest of the country in 27. Should make sure this isn't a problem in the future. Yeah, Nanjing is already falling, so let's get rid of that front line. Focus the rest of these guys over here. Nanjing is out of reach for us. We can maybe reach into Wuji. But I'm going to focus more on just seeing if we can get help out in Anqing. Meanwhile, we have the Natal units having showed up. I want to see if we can't help push in to unify Durban to Cape Town. I think that'll be a pretty big... Well, shit if this isn't interesting. It's a concentrate industry. It's usually the best go. From my understanding, outside of some key exceptions, which I don't think we have to deal with. Let's see if we can't do a little encirclement over here. The formation of the Moscow Court. The Rand Revolt. That's interesting. Are these all... It's going to be interesting to see what they do over there, really. Okay, yeah. Let's see if we can't take Bloemfontein. No, the Germans moved in. And just like that, the Nanjings have capitulated. The rest of our volunteers are all heading back now. Mingan has survived. It's truly beautiful to see. Okay, what matters more is that we take out this unit. Ah, shit, we're not going to take out that unit. Well, now we can take Bloemfontein, maybe. Maybe get a bit more of an encirclement going. Maybe not. Oh, the fucking Swedes are out over here. Interesting. I want to see if we can at least get some sort of encirclement going. Oh, they're going to war with these guys now. Well, let's hope we can get our volunteers back so we can immediately send them once again. Great work so far, guys. Proud of you. Let's pump out the rest of those ships. And once we get these, yeah, we got these guys in circle now. Let me hop in and see Socialist Civil War. I think it's a little more than just a social civil war. In fact, I don't think you can call Mr. George Herbert Hyde Villers a socialist. Unless there's this proof that social conservatives will always betray the revolution, of course. Can't discount that possibility. The Kuomintang asks for aid. Since the National Revolutionary Army collapsed at the hands of imperialist-backed Zhili clique, we've certainly looked at the possibility of a revolution in China with interest. China, while indeed not a capitalist nation nor an industrial one, holds potential for an anti-imperialist and socialist revolution, as evident by the role of the Chinese mass movements in the Northern Expedition. While Chinese socialists in the KMT attempted to stage a bold but failed uprising in 1932, it would appear that, following the collapse of the capitalistic world after Black Monday, the Chinese Kuomintang and the NRA have risen up once more to break their chains. Receive an urgent communique from our Chinese connections, such as Chairman Wang Jingwei and Ambassador Eugene Chen, for our nation to send over military arms and advisors to help the KMT in the renewed revolutionary struggle. We can certainly support them. Although, given the distance of the conflict and our limited resources, we can have to send purely advisors or more advisors and rifles. Alternatively, some of our government have argued that instead we should only send them our thoughts and prayers, which, judging how some of these guys are pretty militant atheists, probably means just leave them hanging. We'll send them advisors and guns. Let's move to encircle them over here. The fall of the Kingdom of Finland. Interesting. And let's... Oh god, yeah, we're gonna massacre these guys. That's not even funny. It kind of is funny. It's a little funny. Okay, can we move out here to liberate these guys? Or resupply them? Germans and French, Germans and Canadians fighting alongside each other. Didn't necessarily expect that. Something. I don't know. Okay, so we have some options on what we want to do here. I'll save off on doing any of these yet until we get our actual tracks going. Let's actually work on renewing the Reconstruction Industrielle. As we prepare to bring the revolution to the rest of the peninsula, we must expand our industrial base in order to counteract foreign investment into the breakaway states. The government will take an active approach in this reconstruction. There we go. There we go. Okay, you guys already got it. And how are 19K versus 3K? Yeah, the Rand Revolt seems like it's going to do quite well. Okay, so South Africa does have... Well, they have a core on Rhodesia. At least South Rhodesia. Let's work on taking these victory points, and if we can... push them out, say Bloemfontein. Not Bloemfontein, we already have. If we can push and take Port Elizabeth, we might just have this right here now. Okay, they're retreating. They're not doing too hot, are they? Actually, we'll move into here, let them help out our French comrades over there. We've taken Kimberley. Now let's move into here. Oh, look at that. The Phalanstère International Research Organization. As time has passed, it's become quickly apparent that the global revolution requires far more than just devotion to the cause. France and Britain becoming the only highly developed socialist countries in the world, it's become widely accepted that they should launch a long-term research aid program for other countries. And thus has begun the so-called Phalanstère International Research Organization, a branch of the Phalanstère International program aimed at providing technological support for socialist countries all over the world. The question is now whether or not we should join in with this endeavor. Participation sounds good. Let's do participation. I like participating. Any more victory points? We have ones up there. Beluchiland or Botswana. That doesn't matter too much. Our main focus should be in the south down here. We can work to cut off supply in this area, which Germans are attacking into us, so they're gonna waste their manpower. I doubt they're gonna hold for much longer. No, you know, I've been wrong before, of course. Let's get these, the Fiat Ravelli going. Let's get Armaguera. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a massacre in Port Elizabeth coming through. Are those the Dutch? Oh, we're killing the Dutch. I'm sorry, Dutchmen. It's become apparent to many in the National that it is the responsibility of all sufficiently developed civilized nations to provide industrial support to all those nations that are less able to provide for themselves. The choice is now upon us whether we should stand in solidarity with workers around the world by helping implement a massive program of industrial aid alongside our French brothers in arms. Sounds like a great idea. Check the construction boost. Are you kidding me? It's beautiful. Okay, is that going to be enough? Yep, it is. So we have a bunch of volunteers coming back. We have a nice amount of experience. We can do a Grand Doctrine. I'll do Grand Battle Plan. That's always a safe bet in my experience. And then, holy royalist Siam. Australasia versus New Zealand. That's gonna be interesting. Can we help with that? We can. Question is whether we will or not. We'll kind of need our volunteers. Well, you might not even need those back. And okay, yeah, you guys might be on your own there, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. My god. Okay, we can send volunteers to Indochina. I think that might be the best play. Actually, we should. You guys, we're going to send straight back to China. I can guarantee that's a safe bet. Anywhere else I can't confirm. Australasia in the meanwhile. Oh shit, Valois. However you say his name. Well, I don't know what to do, but I do know that we can't do it in this video, so we're going to have to leave things there. Thank you as always for watching, my friends. If you like, so you like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you have any comments or feedback, leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get, and I do appreciate any feedback you might have for me. Check out my various links down in the description box below. Leave any comments or feedback down in the comment section below as well. And yeah, I think I'll just leave things there. My name has been Mr. Dogbo333. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.